Hello investors. This month I want to share with you my thoughts on the outcome of the elections, what the markets are going to do, what sectors and themes are going to perform, and what's the impact on your portfolio. But before that, I really want to touch on a very exciting week that we had, which was the results week. I'm sure you've also had a lot of excitement in your life. My life has been full of excitements. And let me first share with you what really happened this week. You know, every few years you have one week which you remember for times to come. The last time it was the COVID week 2020. I clearly remember day to day what happened. And the week that just went by, the result week, was one such week. So I must share with you as to what I went through as a fund manager in the week that went by. So on Friday, which is 31st of May, was the last day of the polling. The markets were very quiet. They were just up 0.19%. But in the evening, the exit polls came, and it was all about 400 par. Right? You all know it. The exit polls were going crazy. And as the exit polls were going crazy, my phone also started going crazy. And I started getting calls from clients and distributors. Sir, we want to top up right now. Well, bhai, market to band hai. No, we will do it tomorrow. But can you please deploy it on Monday morning 9:15? Not even 9:16, 9:15. And I received record top-ups over the weekend. Of course, as we were instructed by clients, we went and deployed the money in the markets. It was a great day. The markets were up 3.25%, lifetime highs. It was euphoric. All the Adani stocks and PSU stocks were run away. In the evening, I get calls again. I hope you've deployed the money in the morning. I said, yes, we have. But you know, we've analyzed your portfolio. You don't have any Adani stock. I said, yes. But isn't this a stock where all of you had issues about corporate governance? Saying, we had issues about corporate governance, but you know, once we get this 400 plus tally, then we don't think corporate governance is an issue. And I'm surprised how narrative changes. Ultimately, corporate governance has nothing to do with the party in power and what is its seat share. It has to do with the governance practices of the company itself. But I saw on Monday morning, the definition of corporate governance also changed. Tuesday happened. The real numbers were not as good as the exit polls. The market at one stage were almost down 8 to 9%, and we felt they could go into circuit. But they recovered a wee bit, closed about 6% lower. Again calls after markets. Sir, we hope you've not deployed all the cash. You're still sitting on some. Yesterday you wanted to deploy it at 9:15. How do you expect me to be in cash? And then no talk of Adani stocks. I have one PSU defense stock in my portfolio. Obviously defense stocks and PSUs were beaten down on that day. Sir, we think your exposure in PSUs is too much, which is actually only 5%. Well, mood was bad. You had to hear them out. Next day, the markets recovered about 3%. And this was a day when all the FMCG stocks and all these, unloved sectors like IT moved. So there were no top-ups that day. People were really shaken with the fall the previous day. But I did get a call in the evening. Sir, don't you think that you should top up on consumer-facing stocks? And interestingly, if you look at our portfolio, we have 25% allocation to consumer. Of course, our biggest allocation is to industrials. So that day, suddenly for everyone, consumer stocks were looking cheap and industrials were looking expensive. So at that day, I also learned the definition of expensive and cheap. It kind of is very fluid. Well, on Thursday, was another good day for the markets, up about 0.8, 0.9%. Again calls in the evening. Sir, I hope you bought some PSU stocks at the bottom. Well, you have to hear them out. The narrative was changing every day. Things were unsure. And Friday was the icing on the cake. The markets were run away 2% higher, closed at lifetime highs. And this was led by tech stocks. Suddenly the phones were again ringing. Sir, should we top up now? So this has been my week, a week of excitement. And what did we do? Actually, we did nothing all week. We didn't buy any new stock. We didn't sell any stock. And through all this noise, we survived, and the portfolio was well up over 3%. And that is my experience for the week. Very, very exciting. Lot of narrative, lot of new definitions changing every day. But not doing something was also a good thing, because all's well that ends well. So why is it that we sat through all this? Were we worried? What is my political assessment? Again, disclaimer, I have no political acumen, but I have to think from the point of view of the market. So what you see on your screen right now is the alliance mathematics, right? NDA, as we hear, is at 293. The number to get is 272. That is the simple majority. However, we feel the NDA number is a little higher than that, because remember, there are a lot of independents who generally float around and they align with the party in power. Number two is, we also feel that in the opposition there are always some MPs who are dissatisfied and always gravitate towards the ruling power. The ruling power is always powerful because yes, they have the administration under control. They also have resources. And as they say, wherever there is honey, the bees flock there. So our understanding is NDA is not 293, but it's 300 or maybe even 300 plus. And when you look at the mathematics of it, what the allies bring to the table and what they can take away. If you look at scenario 1, NDA at 300 minus Janata Dal United, that is Nitish Kumar at 288. Well, 288 is well above 272. Nitish is very famously known for Mr. Paltu. And the fact is that yes, that is what people fear. But even if he goes away, you will find the numbers are good enough for the NDA to continue. The second big ally is Chandrababu Naidu, that's the TDP. I feel Chandrababu Naidu is actually a natural ally, and he is the most development-minded person in the country. I feel he will even surpass Modi. So this is one person to be less worried about. But even if he exits with 16 seats, 300 minus 16 is 284, well above 272. The third scenario, which is the worst case scenario, that NDA minus JDU Nitish minus TDP Chandrababu Naidu, and this gives you the tally of 272, which is also just the point. And as I said, there are a lot of floating elements who get attracted to where the honey is. So in my sense that the numbers work out. Yes, it's not what the exit polls, the problem was with the exit polls, but I feel the numbers kind of work out. And the risk to this government is BJP itself. The day BJP itself decides that it doesn't want to compromise or doesn't want or has some other options, I think the risk to the government is then. And I don't think the BJP is ready for any midterm polls. Seeing their performance in some of the states like Maharashtra, UP, I think there's a lot of repair work to be done. So in my assessment, it is continuity politically. People question Modi's ability to handle alliances. Well, his ability to accept Janata Dal United or Nitish back, he was an NDA, he went to UP and came back, clearly shows his flexibility. In fact, if you go back in history, you will find that the BJP in the past, Modi himself has aligned with Mehbooba Mufti in Kashmir. And ideologically, I don't think there are any more diverse parties than the BJP and Mehbooba Mufti's party. So I do see from history that even Modi and his people are able to manage alliances successfully. So I for one think that there is going to be continuity, and as new ministers come in, new directives, new policies come in, I feel that this mathematics which dominated the market last week will cool off. What is the impact on sectors? What sort of reforms? Ultimately, that's what the market matters. That's how sectors move. So we feel that the reforms can be put into two parts. One is the infrastructure related stuff, and second is social. So what you will see is that infrastructure, digitization, foreign flows, PLI, clean energy transition, these are issues which we feel will continue, because this also, as I said, finds acceptance from the allies. So we think it will be business as usual. the reformist, the whole move to India to the next decade will continue. However, the issues that will take a hit or a softer stance are going to be social issues, whether it is CAA or NRC or whatever that is related to it. Issues that will happen is, we were talking about one nation, one election. I don't think they have the numbers to do that. Neither do they have the support. Land reforms, labor reforms, these are things that will take a back seat, because for this you need a lot of ground support, which they really do not have. So in my assessment of things, as I see Modi 3.0, I would like to say it is continuity, but with a softer touch. The things that matter to the market are the matters related to continuity. And that is why I, for one, did not do anything much last week. And I feel that the sectors and themes that are there in your portfolio will continue to outperform. We have been outperforming. That this has been my strategy for the week gone by. Of course, politics is dynamic, things change, facts change, and we will change with it. But at the moment, I feel that larger trend is intact, and I feel really confident and good about markets in the backdrop of the way global markets also are shaping out. With that, I leave you after a very, very exciting week and a month. Good luck.